Alright, Jeffy, give me some of that stuff over here. Go, Beaners. What you buying? How's everything looking? Feels like you could use a little light on you. I'm very cold.
It's winter.
No kidding. Do you want to know what's crazy, though? I was thinking today, like Tyler and Ilya. Why did you do that?
I didn't do it.
They're living in -31.
Yeah,
I'm complaining it's -4. Can you see the stain on my shirt? Not today, Pam. Be professional. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about
board games.
And
The op.
that is correct. Today's video is sponsored by The Op, and that means that we are doing our top 5 games from The Op for 2022. The Op games that came out in 2022, they had a bunch of releases this year, and we have been fortunate enough to play like almost all of them. So we have put together a list of our top 5 in case you are interested in the Op games, you're not sure where to start. This could be a very good place to start here with us.
The best place to start.
Some might say it's the best place. I would agree. I would have to agree. We do also have one honorable mention because there is a game that came out late in 2021. So technically it didn't come out in 2022, but we love it and we wanted to include it as an honorable mention.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Honorable with a U because we're
Honorable with a U, right?
in typical Canadian fashion.
Exactly. Honorable.
Look at that dog.
Juno's with us again.
She's staring outside.
She's just looking out the window. She doesn't know what to do with herself. It's cold in here. She's a husky. She should like it. Cold. Let's jump into the video, shall we?
Let's do it.
With our honorable mention with a U. That game is going to be Cuphead, a fast rolling dice game. We got this game end of last year, beginning of this year. I can't remember. We got it like shortly after it came out. Now this is a boss battler dice rolling real-time game full of stress and more stress and pushing your luck a little bit too far, which makes you even more stressed. Essentially, this isn't necessarily like a campaign game. It's more like scenario based, and you're working your way through different bosses, different levels by rolling dice, trying to hit them with like your little finger guns, and different bosses have different combinations that you need to get each round to hit them, to damage them. Correct. Essentially.
It's based off of the Cuphead video game, and it actually stays relatively true to the video game, wherein you're getting little power-ups as you progress through the bosses. So it's, as Jamie mentioned, scenario-based boss battler. You have your little character. I think I primarily play as Mugman.
And I usually play as the girl, the
Miss
yellow
Chalice.
one.
So there is an app element to this, but it's
just the timer.
It's just a timer with some thematic Cuphead music, which is really cool. You can play this either on like expert, medium, or easy.
Yeah, it gives you more or less time. Easy,
which is like 10, 15, or 20 seconds.
Yeah. In
order to roll dice and get the matching little symbols that you need in order to defeat the bosses or minions, I guess, that you're fighting at the time. And you'll progress and get new upgrades and new cards and that sort of thing to make life easier down the road.
I die every time we play this game. And Jeff always has to bring me back to life. We have had a ton of fun playing this. It is stress, but it's good stress. This is kind of the first real-time game that we played that we were like, I love this. Because generally it's not our favorite kind of game, but this one is just, I don't know, there's just something about it. It's just pure fun.
Yeah, I do love Cuphead.
I love Cuphead. Moving into our top 5 for 2022, the number 5, and these are listed in order because you know, we're extra like that, right? Yeah,
and they're our favorite op games.
Yes, these are our favorite. The list was written by us, believe it or not. So our number 5 op game of 2022 is called Ven. Now, then is a party game, and essentially what you're doing is you've got these 3 color circles.
You have a Venn
discs.
diagram.
You have a Venn diagram. You're putting them on the table in the form of a Venn diagram. Then you have a stack of cards, and those cards have very strange pictures on them. Like some of the ones on the back, there's like an eagle flying through kites in a city. There's dogs dressed as scientists looking at a telescope that has wings and flamingo legs, you know. And basically what you're doing is you're going to be putting the pictures from your hand into the Venn diagram to try and get your fellow players to guess like the words that you're thinking of. So if something overlaps, let's say like you have pink and blue, and your word in pink is wing, your word in blue is galaxy, your word in yellow is animal. That's the example it gives on the back of the box. That eagle you might put in wing and animal. So you might put where it overlaps with the pink and the yellow. So you're trying to get people to guess those 3 words using the images that you have, which can be very difficult to do because it might be a bit of a stretch. And you get to choose how many cards you put down. So you're like, is this enough? Have I gone too far? It's a really fun party game that you can play with pretty much anyone because it's not very rules heavy. Anyone can understand it. So that is our number 5 for the year. Ben.
What are you doing, Bean?
She hates it down here. Our number 4, we're going to give you a twofer.
Okay, yep.
Yeah,
cool.
you want to know why? Because they're basically the same game with a different theme. That is
Merry Madness.
The Nightmare Before Christmas, Merry Madness, an all-out game of frightful flinging. And we also have Harry Potter, Mischief in Diagon Alley, and you have also heard us talk about before, which came out in 2021 or earlier, Mickey and Friends Food Fight.
Food Fight.
So in the game, everybody's going to have their own little board, and thematically that board is different. In Merry Madness, it's like a sack of toys, so you're trying to throw the toys. In Diagon Alley, it's different areas of Hogwarts, basically. So you'll have 3 dice. The dice will have, one of them will have the image of the thing you need to throw. The other dice will have numbers, how many of that thing you need to throw. And then the other will be a direction. Which direction do you need to throw?
Right.
So you are rolling the dice, doing the thing. Rolling the dice, doing the thing. The first person to clear their board will win that round. And you play over, I think it's 3 rounds.
It's pure chaos because stuff's flying everywhere and things can just land on your player board, and like you're down to like 2 or 3 things, but you can't get the right roll, and like people are just piling onto you because the closer you get to the end game, everyone's like, oh, Jeff's close, Jamie's close, start throwing stuff at her, because there's also the ability to just like pick.
Choose. Yeah, there's a question mark.
There's a question mark one, so it doesn't give you the direction, and then you get to choose who you throw it to, so you always go to that person. But I think in terms of theme, I probably prefer
Nightmare Before
Christmas one.
Yeah, I like to play this kind of game in between some heavier games on a game day, because we did that Mickey and Friends Food Fight. We played with my brother Zach in between a bunch of games, and it was just like, we were like,
It's like, a good palate cleanser.
It's a good palate cleanser.
Keeps everyone energized.
And
I do think it'd be
with
great.
Many ages.
I do think it'd be great with kids.
6+.
You're literally just throwing pieces of stuff around.
Exactly.
So why not let them do it instead of
them do it?
Just grabbing stuff off of the game you're playing. Give them the option.
Encourage your kids to throw things.
Yes.
I think that's the way.
Develop
that is the right
habit.
way. It'll make them great baseball players, basketball players, football players, frisbee players.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Ultimate Frisbee.
Cricket.
They'll be great at throwing sticks for dogs, etc.
Our number 3 is one we actually have up on the channel, so you can go check it out. And that is Mountains Out of Molehills. This still might be one of the coolest experiences I had last year, just because I haven't really played.
This year.
Well, this is one of the coolest experiences I've had of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Because the game board is so unique.
Yes.
It is a 2-layered board, and ultimately what you are doing is moving your mole around on the lower board, and it's done in a sequence. So you're playing out cards, and then your mole is going to follow that trajectory, similar to Colt Express.
Yep.
Where you play out cards, and then your mole is going to follow that pattern. As your mole does that, things are going to happen above the board.
Of course.
So ultimately, you're trying to build out these tall molehills and get them to fall over.
Yeah, you are trying to topple your molehills and other people's molehills, because if you have a tall one, you're going to get more points, but you can topple yours and start building up over a larger space.
Yeah, so once you topple one over, all your little pieces that have fallen off your mound will go in the corresponding spaces that it has fallen off of. And again, you want to be on the top, because that's how you score victory points at the end of the game. I had a ton of fun playing this. It was super unique. I haven't played anything like it since. Yeah. It's really cool how like the moles can like run into each other and like they kind of bounce around and stuff.
You know, they can't really see very well. It's very dark.
Correct.
And that is our number 3 game, Mountains Out of Molehills. Our number 2 game is Disney's Sorcerer's Arena's Epic Alliances. And of course, we do also have 2 expansions that are out right now, Turning the Tides and Thrills and Chills. So basically, this is an arena battler. Each person is playing as 3 different Disney characters, and you are just trying to kill off your opponent's Disney characters.
There's sections in the middle that if you control them, you will score extra victory points each time that you control one of those areas.
Yeah.
Think something like Super Fantasy Brawl, where there's objectives, like those tiles are arena objectives that if you control them, you'll score more points, essentially.
Yes, and each of the characters plays slightly different, so every time you play this game, you can get a new combination of characters, and every character has a set of cards that all get shuffled together, so you'll have a deck of cards with the 3 characters combined, and it's really cool. It's really fun. If you are a fan of Disney, which obviously I definitely am, Stitch is in this one. He's my favorite. If you're a fan of Disney, this is definitely a game that I would recommend checking out, because it's just like Disney Extreme, basically. It's
really cool because you can mix and match characters. I mean, I think I played as like Aladdin, who I think is the best character. Demona and Sully. Aladdin was so awesome. If you like Disney and you like kind of arena battlers, this is the one to grab. And they're only going to come out with more and more characters. I mean, it's an endless supply of Disney.
We haven't had a chance to play Thrills and Chills yet, and I'm very excited because it comes with Jack Skellington.
Number 1. You probably could have predicted this.
Probably could have predicted this.
Our number 1 op game of 2022. Marvel Dice Throne. We absolutely love Dice Throne.
We love Dice Throne.
We have multiple tournaments that you can go watch. We talk about this game all the friggin' time.
Yep.
And this is just the Marvel version of one of our favorite games.
Love it. And we do have the entire set, but we just brought out this one because, I don't want to carry them all from the game room. But this is kind of like the base set that you get. It comes with 4 characters. It comes with 3 of my favorite characters, which is Spider-Man, Loki, and Scarlet Witch.
What else can we say about Dice Throne? It's
Battle Yahtzee.
It's Battle Yahtzee. In my opinion, it's a perfect 2-player game. It's easily accessible for new players because you're just playing your board out. The board and the cards read relatively simply, and you're just rolling dice and trying to match sets and match abilities so that you can knock down the other person's hit points.
Yeah.
Each character has some variability so that, you know, if it's a new player, some of them play easier than others, less complex rule sets, less complex combos. I don't know if I have a negative for Dice Throne.
Yeah, we love it. And plus with Marvel, it is just so inviting for people who are already into this IP. So, you know, someone might look at the original Dice Throne and be like, I don't know if it's for me, but then you show them the characters that they know and love and they may be more inclined to play. Yeah. Plus, like Jeff said, each character is unique in the way that they play. The game plays the same, but each character has some nuances that make it a little bit different. Like Loki deals with tricks, Thor's throwing his hammer around, all of that good stuff. So it's just very thematic and I love it.
Most people like Marvel or have seen Marvel or understand those comic book characters, and that might bring them to the table and be like, hey, I'd like to try this out. And that's why we're all here.
That's why
we're doing what we're doing, to get more people gaming and more people having fun around the table together. So,
and that is Marvel Dice Throne, our #1 op game of
Probably
2022. Probably could have guessed it.
Thank you so much to the op for giving us opportunity to chat about their game.
I do just want to mention that we just recently played another game from the op, but it is an older game, and it is called Tapple. And I know that it is not from 2022, but let me just say, if you could find yourself a copy of Tapple, you get it, because it is freaking fun.
Tapple is great.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I thought it was called Topple for a while, and I was looking through BGG, and I was like, this game doesn't even exist. But it's called Tapple. Don't make the same mistake as me. Anyways, those are our top 5 games from the op for 2022. I would love to know down below, what are some of your favorite games from the op? Have you played any of these? What do you like? I'd love to know. That's everything that we have for today. Tis. So thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in buying board games like any of the many that we mentioned today, you can find them directly on the Op's website, or you can find them at your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that is
the Boardroom Game Cafe.
It sure the heck is. That's all we have. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see,
please subscribe.
We hope to see you again soon. And now we say goodbye. Goodbye.
Later days. 2020 to 2022.
Okay, so moving into our top...
Still in the shot.
What?
It's still in the shot. Yeah, there you go.
You guys, spoilers.
Pick whatever one you...
Speaks to your heart.
You prefer.
It is just Disney. I almost said on steroids, but we don't want to say steroids in this video.